Jared Beckstrand here, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Tone and Tighten, and today I wanted to run you through a quick 30-minute, low-intensity, steady-state cardio workout, a LISS cardio workout. We're going to keep the intensity low, we're going to keep the impact low, but hopefully we're going to keep the fat burn high. The cool thing about LISS workouts is it's a way that we can actually preferentially burn stored body fat if we do it the right way. So I not only want to run you through this workout, but I also want to explain how to do the workout so that you can maximize your goals and so that you can maximize the workout for your individual needs. That said, let's go ahead and we're going to get started. I'm going to take you through two 60-second warm-up exercises and then we're going to jump into the workout. I've got my timer right here, so we'll go ahead and we'll get it started. Hit that for 1 minute. We're going to do some marches with some overhead reaches. Left knee comes up as the right hand reaches up and over your head, and then we're going to go ahead and alternate that on the other side. So as one arm goes up, the opposite knee comes up. We're going to do this one for 60 seconds. Make sure that I hit start on my timer or on my heart rate monitor here. Right now, heart rate's coming in at about an 80 beat per minute thing as I'm going here, and I'll explain a lot more about that to you as we progress throughout the workout. So again, we're going to run you through two 60-second warm-up exercises, just using lots of muscles in the leg, lots of muscles in the upper body as well, in the arms, chest, shoulders. It's going to be a great workout. We've got about 15 seconds left on this one. And then we're going to get into some side steps with some arm swings. So we'll warm up a little bit laterally in 3, 2, 1. So side step, arm swing. So looks just like this. Getting into the next exercise. Here we go. Swing your arms nice and wide as we step side to side. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about these low intensity workouts. Basically, this is the opposite of a HIIT workout. A lot of us are familiar with the high intensity interval training, HIIT HIIT workouts. Great way to burn up a ton of calories in not a lot of time. But the thing about those is that they primarily, at the higher intensity, pull carbohydrates as an energy source. If we want to actually burn more stored body fat, there's a way that we can preferentially do that, and it's with these LISS type activities. 10 seconds left on this one, and then we'll get into our first exercise. We're gonna do some squats with a heel raise. We're gonna do that in 3, 2, 1. Drop down into a squat, come up onto your toes. Squat with a heel raise. So a really good contraction at the top, make sure the legs are locked out, squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes, and then squeeze the calves to come up into that heel raise. Looks just like that. I'm at a 108 right now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this LISS idea, or this low intensity, steady state cardio idea. Again, kind of the opposite of a HIIT workout. HIIT workout, the goal is to get the heart rate up as high as you can, do as much work as you can in a short amount of time as possible. And honestly, if it's a true HIIT workout that you're doing, you're not going to be able to do more than about 30 to 45 minutes if you are going all out at the correct intensity. And so what we're going to do with this workout is take the intensity down at a rate that I'm going to tell you here in just a second. After we do some quiet jacks, I'm going to step to the side with my right hand comes overhead, left hand comes overhead. So it looks just like this. So the low intensity, the LISS workouts are a little bit opposite. Our goal is to elevate our heart rate into a certain range and then keep it there for the 30-minute duration. So we're not doing high intensity work with a rest in between. Rather, we're doing constant work at a little bit lower intensity. Looks good, you guys, just like that. And so what is intensity? So whenever we talk about intensity of exercises, intensity of workouts, we're talking about your heart rate. And if you're not measuring your heart rate, you're not measuring your intensity. It's as simple as that. We are notoriously bad predictors of how hard we're working. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Okay, lateral lunge to a squat. Lateral lunge, squat, come up out of it. Lateral lunge, and up out of it. And so the heart rate is the only measure that you have of workout intensity. And so I've got a heart rate monitor on. I've got an Apple Watch, but then I've also got a Polar strap on because I found that the strap is a little bit more accurate than just the wrist-based heart rate, especially if we're tracking it for workouts like this. Now, what I want to do is, again, I want to keep my heart rate down a little bit lower than I would with a HIIT intensity range. I want to keep my heart rate down below that so I stay in an actual fat burn zone. Your body pulls from stored fat reserves first until it gets to a certain intensity. When it realizes I can't get enough energy from fat reserves, that's when it's going to start to pull from a carbohydrate source. I can't remember the right here, you guys, sorry. So curtsy lunge rows, you're going to drop down, we're going to row back, just like this. So drop the left leg back, pull through the chest and shoulders, really open that up, and then come up right out of it. So it looks just like this. Curtsy lunge with a row, 60 seconds. So the way that you're going to determine what range you need to be working out in is all based on science and math. And so it's applicable to everyone. What you're going to do is take the number 220 and subtract your age in years. And so for me, I'm 38 years old. That means my number is 182. That is how we find your age-adjusted maximum heart rate. In theory, based on my age, I'm only ever going to get my heart rate up to 182. That's my theoretical maximum heart rate that I'll be able to achieve while I'm working out. Nice job, you guys. Let's see, overhead press to a standing row. Overhead press with your arms, down here, standing row, back. Overhead press, standing row. Overhead press, standing row. So let's just look at press overhead, row back behind. Getting a lot of upper body involved with this one. Okay, so 220 minus your age is your age-adjusted maximum heart rate. So again, I mentioned that mine is 182. Now, that's the heart rate intensity that I should base most, if not all, of my workouts after. In order to get into a LISS, or a low intensity steady state, or a fat burn heart rate zone, I want to work out at 50 to 70% of that target heart rate range, or excuse me, of that maximum heart rate. Good job, you guys. 3, 2, 1. Looks good. Nice job. Alternating reverse lunge with a knee drive. I'm going to drop my right leg back, left lunge, and then I'm going to come up into a knee drive with that same right leg, and then alternate left, and then drive, right, and then drive. Looks just like that. Nice job, you guys. I can even go a little harder. And so, again, based on that range, so let me back up, sorry. So I told you that my age-adjusted maximum heart rate is 182. From that, if I wanted to take 50% of that number, it's 91. And if I wanted to take 70% of that number, it's 128. And so my LISS, my low intensity steady state heart rate range, if I'm focusing on burning fat, maximizing fat loss, is going to be a heart rate of 91 to 128. There we go. So again, 50% to 70% of that number. Nice job, you guys. Quarter squat side steps. So we're down in this quarter squat. We're going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. So 4 steps to the right, 3, 4, 4 steps to the left. We'll do that for 60 seconds. Okay, sorry, I'm all over the place here. 4. Okay, so 220 minus your age in years. I'm 38, the number I get is 182. If I multiply that number by 50%, I get 91 as the low end of my LISS heart rate range. If I multiply that number by 70%, I get 128 as the high end of my LISS heart rate range. So any activity that I'm doing, if I can keep it in that heart rate range of 91 to 128, that would be considered LISS cardio for me. Now, again, this is based primarily off of your age. Good job, you guys. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. We go overhead claps. So right here, clap. If you need a little more, so like I'm at 120 right now. So if I were to need a little bit more with this, I could also do kind of a mini squat with it. That's what I'm gonna do. And then we're gonna keep the intensity nice and moderate. I'm not going all out, but I'm doing these overhead claps. Nice job. Looks good, you guys. And so if I get above that higher number, if I get above 128, my body is going to start to pull from my recently ingested carbohydrates, meaning the food that I recently ate. It needs a different energy source to fuel it differently. And so if I get above that 128, my body actually stops pulling from my fat reserves and starts pulling from the food that I recently ingested. And so if we keep it below that 70% range, we're working out in what we would call a fat burn heart rate zone, or a fat burn intensity. Nice job, you guys, looks good. So let's see, right, so we're gonna go on the right side. 4 taps out, 2, 3, 4, 4 taps back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 high knees, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then repeat, 1. Nice job. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job, you guys. So if we want to burn stored body fat, this is a great way to do that, because right now my body is pulling primarily from my stored fat reserves as I'm running through all of these exercises. My heart rate right now, to give you some perspective, is at 116. Since I started this workout, it's primarily been between 100 and about 120. Nice job, other side. So 4 out to the left. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. So because I'm wearing that monitor, and because I know how hard I'm working, I know how hard my heart is going. I'm at 117 right now, so I can even take this up a little bit higher to get to still stay within that heart rate range. Now, as long as you're in that heart rate range, that 50 to 70%, you're checking the box, you're meeting the needs, and so that's great. And personally, am one who likes to maximize everything that I do, and so I'm going to try to stay closer to the 70% range than the 50% range, but don't feel like you have to do that. Nice job, everybody. Looks good. Nice job. Okay, squats, movements. Okay, so we're gonna come here, wide squat, quarter squat, up and overhead with my right, quarter squat, up and overhead with my left. So it looks just like that. And again, I hope now you kind of better understand the importance of you wearing a heart rate monitor while we do this workout, because my intensity and the way my body reacts to what I'm doing right now is going to be different from your intensity and the way that your body reacts to what it's doing. And so 122 right now, and again, I want to stay, my goal is to stay at that upper range, so that's about where I want to be. Kind of the 120 to 125 range is ideal for me. Starting to sweat, hope you guys are too. Feels good, looks good. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, nice job. Okay, 2 side steps of the hamstring curl. We're gonna come right here. 1 side step, 2 side step, left hamstring curl, 1 side step, 2 side steps, right hamstring curl. Let's go, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up. Nice job. Looks good. So why would we want to do one of these LISS workouts? Well, again, the majority of us, the reason why we exercise, the reason why I assume you're here, is to burn fat. You want to burn some of the stored body fat, wherever it's stored. Stomach, hips, arms, chest, face. We want to burn that stored body fat. And so we can do that by burning a total number of calories, like with a HIIT workout, which is a great way to exercise, don't get me wrong. Or we can throw a little bit lower intensity activity at it, stay down below that threshold where we're not burning as many carbs, but instead pulling primarily from our fat reserves. Okay, so now we're gonna do some squats with side leg lift. Squat, right side lift, squat, left side lift. Looks just like that, alternating. Or, like I had mentioned, we can do these lower intensity activities where we're keeping below the threshold and we're burning a little more body fat. You'll notice that I'm not completely out of breath. I'm working hard. I'm breathing a little bit harder. Definitely got a sweat going on right now, but I'm still able to carry on this conversation. I'm still able to speak in full sentences. I'm not so out of breath that my talking is affected. That's a great way, if you don't have a heart rate monitor, to kind of tell how hard you're working. You should be able to still have a normal conversation as you're going through these LISS workouts. 3, 2, 1. Excellent job, you guys. Deadlift with an overhead reach. Overhead reach, down to a deadlift. Keep your back flat, down to your toes, then right back up. So it looks just like that. Hinge at your hips, not at your back. So keeping your back straight, hinging at your hips. Use your glutes to pull yourself up out of it. Reach all the way up, overhead. Looks good. Okay, I'm at a 130 heart rate. So again, that's kind of the high end of my intensity. I don't want to get any higher than that. So I'm going to slow down just a little bit. Hopefully bring that back down to the range that I want to stay in. And again, keep in mind that the numbers are based off of your age. And so there's a little deviation there. It's nothing hard and fast, meaning I can't, like if my upper range is 128, that doesn't mean I can never go to 129, but that means that I want to kind of keep it below 130 as much as possible. Okay, alternating step punches. Step with your right, punch with your right, step with your left, punch with your left. Let's go. Right, left, right. Nice job. 126 is where I'm at right now. Looks good. So if you're interested in heart rate monitors, you say, okay, Jared, I understand how important a heart rate monitor is. Where can I get one? I'm going to leave a bunch of links in the description below to this video. Just some good ideas. I love Apple, I love Fitbit, Garmin, Polar, all great brands when we consider heart rate monitors. Most of them are wearables. Most of them are going to be like the wristwatch or the wrist-based models, which are great. But I found that the chest strap is a little more accurate. So if you're doing a lot of things where you need a more accurate heart rate, nice job, everybody. Okay, that's our first time through. Let's do it one more time. Squats with a heel raise. Squat, heel raise. So if you want something that's going to be a little more accurate, if you want to be a little more precise with your workouts, I definitely recommend going with the chest strap, which will sync up to the majority of wearables out there. So my chest strap is Bluetooth. It's just got a Bluetooth monitor on it that talks right to my watch. And again, I have just found that to be a little more accurate. So if that's important to you, links to the chest strap as well as the heart rate monitors are all included in the description down below. Nice job, you guys. You guys feeling this? Nice, looks good. We got 10 seconds left. Looks great. Push with your glutes, quads, and then calves as we come up out of it. Nice job. Fantastic. Okay, here we go, quiet jacks. Out to the right with the right hand, out to the left with the left hand. Not like a jumping jack, just a little more quiet. We're not going through quite as much intensity. Now, I might mention the majority of the work that I do professionally is with postpartum women. A lot of them, one of their main goals is to lose weight. We talk a lot about these LISS heart rate workouts. And so all of the moves that we're doing here are completely postpartum friendly. You'll notice that I'm not doing much core because there are definitely certain ways that you want to work your core after having a baby. I definitely wouldn't recommend many sit-ups, crunches, planks, mountain climbers, burpees, push-ups, things of that nature, because that can be aggravating to your postpartum core. And so you'll notice that none of those moves have been included with this workout. Nice job, quiet jacks. Here we go, lateral lunge squats. So we're gonna come to the right, down, and up, to the left, down, and up. So definitely postpartum friendly. Now when I say postpartum, make sure that you wait 6 to 8 weeks, depending on your type of delivery, after jumping, or before, jumping in and doing these workouts, doing these exercises. Make sure you have your doctor's clearance before jumping in here with me. If you're interested in learning more about an entire rehab program that I put together for you postpartum moms out there, you can check out mommytummyfix.com. I've also got that linked down below in the description. That's where you can get the workout plan that I created. It's an entire core rehab workout progression. It includes some healthy, clean eating advice, as well as more of these great LISS cardio workouts. Nice job, you guys. So let's see, curtsy lunge row. We're dropping to the curtsy lunge, pull back behind, then we go to the right, curtsy lunge, pull back behind. Looks just like that. So that website one more time, mommytummyfix.com, where you can learn more about the plan. Once again, LISS cardio is a big part of that. I love these types of workouts. This is what I'll do. I'll do something like this on my rest days, meaning I love the higher intensity stuff. Weight training is what I personally love to do. And isn't that great about exercise? There's so many different varieties out there that you can definitely find something that you love. Mine is weight training. So I love to weight train, 5 to 6 days a week. But on those off days, I'm giving my body a chance to rest and a chance to recover, but I don't want to just sit around and do nothing. And so these LISS cardio workouts, these are also a great way to recover. Nice job, you guys. Overhead press and standing row. Overhead press, standing row. Press overhead, roll back behind. Looks good, everybody. Overhead press, roll back behind. And so for me personally, I love to do this type of workout on my quote-unquote off days or on my rest days. Rest days simply means non-lifting days. I'm giving my body a chance to rest, a chance to recover. This is a great way to do that. I might mention rest and recovery. It's another one of the great things that I love about LISS. With your HIIT workouts, you're probably only going to be able to do those, 3 or 4 days a week. If you're doing full, all-out HIIT cardio activity, you definitely need some rest days in there. And if you're doing a HIIT workout every day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, you're definitely setting yourself up for overuse injuries. Nice job. Overhead press, standing rows. Alternating reverse lunge with that knee drive. So drop right, knee drive up, and then drop left, knee drive up. Looks good, you guys, just like that, right? And up, drop left, and up. So if you are doing regular high intensity workouts, and if you do need a break, or if you do feel your body is fatigued, tired, overused, this is a great way that you can offset some of those rest days. So maybe you start to do 3 HIIT workouts a week, supplement that with 3 LISS workouts a week, throw in some strength training on top of that. And that is typically what I recommend to clients. That's usually about the combination that I like to recommend. The great part about these LISS workouts is that you can do something like this, a LISS activity like this, 7 days a week. Looks good, just like that. Good job, everybody. Let's see, some quarter squat side steps. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So with the HIIT, the higher intensity activity, you definitely should take a day to recover. And so yeah, you might burn a few more calories during that time that you're working out. But if you can only do 3 to 4 of them a week, you're limited in the number of calories you can burn. But if we can do these LISS activities, these lower intensity heart rate zones, where we don't require as much recovery time, it's not quite as intense on our body, all of a sudden we can do something like this 7 days a week. If we're looking at weekly volume of exercise, it's actually a little bit more successful if you do it like this, with less chance for injury. Double bonus. Nice job, you guys. Quarter squat side steps, overhead claps with the squat. So I'm gonna see where my heart rate's at. 128. So I'm gonna try to keep the intensity right here. Again, if your heart rate's high right now, it might just be kind of some slower overhead claps. If it's a little bit low, we can add some mini squats. If it's still low, we can kick up our intensity a little bit. So you are in complete control of where your heart rate is at in this workout. And if you're working too hard, you can decrease the intensity of each of the exercises that I'm showing you. If it's not where you want it to be, if you want it to go a little higher, just take it up a little bit. Looks great, you guys. We got 15 seconds left. Here we go. Nice job. Overhead claps. Okay, and then after this, we're gonna get back into those right kind of three-way lunge exercises. 3, 2, 1, push up. So on the right side, we're gonna go 4 taps to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 taps behind. 3, 4. 4 knee drives. 2, 3, 4. We're doing, no, sorry. We're not gonna alternate on this one. We're gonna burn that left quad out. That left quad works hard as it's stabilizing and supporting my right side of my body going through these motions. Nice job. So again, these LISS workouts are a great way to supplement even anything that you're doing. The cool part about LISS is that it doesn't even need to be necessarily like dedicated workout time. Some of my favorite ways to get my LISS in, let's go on the left. Some of my favorite ways to get my LISS in are with my family. We'll go for a walk after dinner, or a bike ride, or go play in the park, go hiking, swimming. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can get your heart rate up. Again, my resting heart rate is approximately 60 beats per minute. That lower range, that lower end number of my LISS heart rate range is 91. So for me to get up to a 91, I can get there pretty easily with some of those really simple activities. And so my advice to you is to, not necessarily dedicate workout time to something like this, but see if you can just include another LISS activity in most of your days. Maybe it's a walk at lunch, maybe it's a quick YouTube video like this after dinner. There's a lot of different ways that you can incorporate it. Good job. Okay, let's see, squats with the overhead reach. Down into a squat, reach up into the right, up into the left with my right. There we go. So left hand goes up into the right hand goes up into the left. Looks just like that. Nice job, you guys. 129 is where my heart rate's at right now. So if you're keeping up with me, it could be right around there, or it could be a lot higher than that, or it could be a lot lower than that. Again, the key is that you're going to monitor your own heart rate through all of this to make sure that you are in your own personal, unique LISS range. Looks good, just like that. We got 10 seconds left on this one. I know you guys are burning. We got about 4 more exercises left, 4 more minutes, and then we're done with the workout. Looks great, you guys. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 2-step hamstring curls. So step right, curl left, step left, curl right. 1, 2, curl, 2, curl. One of the most common questions that I get about LISS is, Jared, my resting heart rate is already pretty high, and it doesn't take much for me at all to get into my LISS age-adjusted calculated heart rate range. Like, what should I do? I tell these people to start to use what we call an RPE scale. It stands for rating of perceived exertion. Basically a 0 to 10 scale of how hard you think you're working. Part of that is a talk test. I mentioned before that I'm able to carry on a conversation with you guys while I'm doing this cardio workout. Maybe I'm breathing a little bit heavier, but I'm still able to speak full sentences and express ideas clearly. Good job, you guys. Okay, side squat, leg lift. Side squat, side leg lift. There you go, squat, side leg lift. So if that's you, if your resting heart rate is a little bit higher and you're having a hard time trying to figure out, how come so little activity takes me up over my LISS threshold, that might be part of the reason why. And so I'd encourage you to maybe find an RPE scale. You can just Google it and it will bring back some good results on what those RPE scales look like. Nice job, you guys. Just close my exercise ring. That means that we're getting close. I'm at a 128 right now. 128 beats per minute. According to this, we've walked about 1.5 miles, so that's pretty cool too, right? Nice job. Looks good, everybody. Here we go, finish strong. Deadlift with the overhead reach is our next one. Nice job. So down to the deadlift, hinge at your hips, my back's nice and straight. Touch your toes, up and overhead. Down, up and overhead. Try to keep your back nice and flat. I don't want you to round at your spine. I want you to hinge at your hips. Go just as low as you can. If you can't go quite as low as what I'm doing, there's no shame in that whatsoever. Use your strength, use your available range of motion, and just do the best that you can. Nice job, everybody. Check this out. I hope I'm at 130, so I'm going to slow down just a little bit for this, and then one more final exercise. Looks good. This is my perfect way to spend a rest day. Still burning up some calories, still working some muscles, joints are moving. Great way to just stay strong and fit and healthy. And burn up some extra calories as well. Burn up some extra fat calories, right? Okay, alternating step punches is our last one. Step with the right, punch with the right, step with the left, punch with the left. Here we go. Let's go. So I'm curious, have you ever heard of LISS before? Have you ever tried a LISS workout similar to this one? I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave me your comments down below as soon as we're done. 30 seconds left. As soon as we're done, comment below. Let me know if you enjoyed this workout. Let me know if you'd like to see more content like this on Tone and Tighten. I like to produce this stuff. I figured I was down here working out anyway. Let us push record on this. Share it with you guys as well. So leave me a comment. Be sure to like the video if you haven't done so already. I'd love to see you here for future videos on Tone and Tighten. Be sure you subscribe to the channel. And then also, 3, 2, 1, nice job, everybody. If you're interested in more LISS activity workouts, what I'll do is I'll drop in 2 right here. You can check those out. Those are some more great options for more LISS activity. Have a fantastic day. Again, thanks for joining me. We'll see you again next time here on Tone and Tighten.